Welcome to Gemini season, guys. We are going to take a peek at your love life, see how your partner's feeling about you, any important actions you need to take for the month, and overall, I'm just going to cover a couple things as far as major major things going on in astrological, aspects. If you've got some big projects going on, especially if you're seeing this towards the end of anytime in May, before you get to the beginning of June, make sure if you've got some big projects that you're really working on, get things kind of in order and organized. They don't have to be perfect, but there is kind of a wrapping up energy happening that first week in June. So I would recommend, if you have any last minute things that you need to do, just to kind of work on that so that you can be in the best position for that, because apparently whatever it is you're working on has definitely been very important to you and has a pretty big reward for you. So I would definitely check those details. Speaking of checking details, towards the middle of the month, we've got some new things happening. So, I wouldn't make yourself super busy at that particular point where you're just kind of overwhelmed. I would just kind of make sure you're double checking those details and don't overdo it. Okay, you don't want to overdo yourself during that time. Make sure if you need some grounding, you're doing that. And then we've got some nostalgic stuff kind of happening. Deeper rooted conversations taking place around the 18th of the month. But those are times when I would recommend to stay very mature and realistic with those conversations. I wouldn't exaggerate. I wouldn't, sell yourself up in any kind of a way. I would just stay really practical and realistic in that. And then towards the end of the month, we've got a really good opportunity to just kind of take the lead on certain aspects that you've been, these bigger pieces that you've been working towards, bigger goals, things that you've been really trying to get going. There is going to be kind of an oomph in that direction with a major transit, basically. So when we have those major transits, we've got new opportunities coming. So keep that in mind. The major transit is Mars enters Aries. So that does make sense, just because Aries has a lot to do with those things that you've been pondering on and thinking about, putting all that energy into manifesting, and now we've kind of got some of those answers coming to by the end of the month. So if you've been waiting for some bigger answers, I would say some of them should be coming in by the end of the month. If you want to look at your personal situation, please do so. Remember, this is a general reading, guys, so take with this and leave the rest. All right, let's get into it. Hey Virgos, all right, we're going to start with what the current relationship position is and see how things are looking in that department, and then we'll just kind of go from there. All right. All right, let's see. Current relationship. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So this is one of those kind of deals where you want to balance, the desires that you have along with kind of the actions you're making day to day to make that happen, or the actions that you're making day to day matching the kind of lifestyle that you would live in reference to what you're kind of desiring or what you're wanting to bring into your life, because that is a big part of it. Like, in other words, are you expecting something from your partner but you're not willing to give that in return? Are you expecting something that you're not willing to, in other words, willing to deliver as well? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. And then meditate and contemplate. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in other words, then I would say this is an opportunity for you to kind of take a look at and reflect on some of the situations to see kind of what maybe, maybe something came out and you were like, man, I wonder. In other words, you're looking for opportunities to get meaning to the situation, or meaning to specific on how it relates to you. Another, like a specific experience or interaction or something that was said or whatever. However it relates to you, think back on a moment where maybe you needed to kind of take. You know what's interesting? Actually, it's the same energy in the card. One's an eclipse. So it's almost like there's something that's been avoided, like a truth or something that you needed to or like a plan that you knew needed to take place, or God, I don't want to put a specific on it because the interpretation, it gets literal and it's so many groups of you. I don't want to make a literal interpretation. But the point is that you've got this realization of some kind that's needing to kind of come out, and you might need to kind of take a moment to go within to find out what that truth is, and then try to find a way to practically balance whatever this obstacle is, or whatever the route that you're trying to take. Find a practical way of going about that, and you will find balance in that situation. That was a really strange, that was a really strange explanation to that. So right now you're dealing with a situation that you're trying to find meaning to, or you're trying to find truth to. And I can totally see where that might be a little bit frustrating. It was just a very long-winded way of explaining that, basically. How they feel about you at the moment. Okay. God. Shine, forgiveness, and joy. So the more you are able to look back, okay, I got an example finally. So maybe there's some conversations that you had that the person, your partner it was so maybe immature or non-realistic or non-practical situation, and you've been, kind of pondering on, like, man, are they really, like, just, is that really how it is, or what? And you've been trying to find, reason and rationale and be supportive and just trying to find meaning to it. And you did, and you're trying to kind of come at this from a supportive perspective. And your partner does see that. They see you coming at this from a place of, kind of accepting them for who they are, finding the positive out of the situation. And they really do see you as quite attractive. I mean, you are shining to them in a way that's very admirable, I guess you could say. It's getting their attention quite a bit, in ways that maybe they didn't even expect, for you to come around and be a certain type of mentality. All right, let's see where things are headed here and kind of the action to take. Your hard work is paying off. And surrender to the divine. So your hard work's paying off is kind of where this is headed. And it's time to take action. So this is saying, it's giving you reassurance that where this is headed is kind of is going in the direction of the goal that you were wanting. And the action to take is surrender to the divine. In other words, just surrender to the unknowns. Accept that the universe has your back and know that they're going to bring to you what is meant to be. And it's time to take action. So if there's something that's just been kind of sitting there, or something that you needed to say, or something you needed to do, or an action you need to take personally, I mean, I don't want to get too specific here, but whatever this is, make sure you go and take action on it, because it's going to make a pretty big impact when it comes to, the ultimate potential, the ultimate outcome of this. It kind of the ball's a little bit in your court, and it's time for you to make a move here. And I don't know exactly what that is, but either way, it's some kind of move, and it's saying that it's time to do that. So if you've been wondering, man, do I act on that? Do I not act on that? Do I move forward? Do I not? It's saying to take action on that thought, okay? Oh, I didn't even see that one come out. You're very close to achieving your goal. So surrendering to the divine is sometimes the last kind of step. Surrendering means you just kind of have faith that whatever's meant to be will be. And that is generally sometimes the last little lesson or test that you get to getting what you're wanting. How to best communicate cooperation and unity. So, I'd almost even say compromise too, but cooperation, meaning you're wanting, you have a higher goal, you have a higher idea of what you're wanting, and your energy is invested into cooperating with that and making that happen, creating a realization, or creating the manifestation into a reality of what that is. And you understand that working with the other person is what it takes to get there. You want to play by the rules here, you want to communicate well, but cooperating and being on the same page with somebody is just as important as having your own input in this. And that is the best way to communicate this month with the person that you're dealing with, especially considering what I mentioned as far as astrological movements this month, okay? And then last but not least, how to maintain balance, okay? This month, meditation to dig deep. And I do see that because we do have that meditation. So there might be just kind of some things that were subtle and you really just didn't see them. And it's okay to just take a moment and think back and be like, man, is there anything that just didn't sit well? Or I've been thinking about this. Maybe the answer was right in front of me and I didn't see it. Let's just ponder on this. And sometimes if you have a meditation ritual, I would highly recommend, diving into that. And if you don't have one and you're looking for one, I do monthly, I send out monthly ones that have to do with the astrological movements. It's just the new moon and the full moon rituals, and they just they specifically focus on how to bring about those answers and how to release certain things. So if you're interested, let me know. But the point is, if you don't know how to meditate, I would highly recommend getting into a meditation ritual that has to apply with the energy of this month. That way, if you're just kind of flat, I don't know how to handle that, it can come out and at least can apply to the meditation. Otherwise, I would, if you already have one that you do and you're all about it, just sit in a moment and just kind of be in that awareness and take some mindfulness to yourself, just a few minutes, even if it's a couple minutes throughout the day, but at least a few minutes in this month to get some answers. Earth magic, again, grounding, getting connected to that kind of Gaia energy, and letting that natural flow kind of come to you as you also ground out that energy, that you've been kind of holding in or absorbing. So let me know how that resonates with you guys. If you want to book a reading, all the information on how to do that is down below. I hope you have a wonderful month. I'll talk to you soon. Much love.